You have to admit, playing video games is great. You turn on a screen, and for hours you are transported to another fantasy universe where you can sometimes do literally whatever you want, allowing you to have a fun time and forget about your problems for moments. This is definitely the best. Although, well, then there are habits that we gamers have that are quite bad, and that at times we have to overcome. Here is Samurai Clips and I present to you top 10 bad gaming habits you as a gamer probably can't break. So don't leave the screen. Number 10, reloading after firing one bullet. Will you deny this? Absolutely not. And speaking of not trusting, we still can't trust ourselves. I don't know if it's because of an OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, or because we have fun, but in any war or shooting video game, whenever we shoot, we reload instantly. It doesn't matter if we only shoot one time, or if the gun has more than 100 bullets like the machine gun in Counter-Strike. We will always reload infinitely, even though it is literally a waste of time and leaves us in danger of being killed while the animation executes the load. How can we quit this bad habit? Every time you shoot, you'll have to do a push-up. That's right. It doesn't matter if you're playing online, leave the controller on the floor and start doing push-ups. You'll see how you get rid of that bad habit, and you'll also be like The Rock. Number 9, getting mad at other players online. I'm sure I'm not the only one who has been angry with someone online, and I said rude things to him. Maybe I even said it to a 9-year-old boy, but that doesn't matter here. The important thing is that it only serves us to lose the time to get angry. Sometimes because of a bad internet connection, or some player cheated and it makes us very angry. I know it's hard to process, I know, but you have to stop doing it, or at least not yell at them through a microphone. In fact, in a video game like League of Legends, it is more common to have a bad time than a good one. And the idea of play stops making complete sense to play video games to hate ourselves for being bad players, or others because of their fault we have died. Number 8, skip the dialogues of the scenes. Tell me you're not anxious without telling me you're not anxious. Undoubtedly, this fact marks a before and after in our patience, putting it to the test at every moment. There is nothing worse than when you want to jump into the action, you have hundreds of important dialogues in the story, but not important for us. As for example, it happens in Horizon Zero Dawn or in the XCOM saga, in which there are endless dialogues, and sometimes neither is that the things that are said there are so important. I've heard that there are people who literally skip all the dialogue in some games, and just focus on the gameplay. So lazy. Yeah, that's us. Number 7, buy games that we will never play in our life. Admit it, you do too every time Steam puts out a sale so low, you can't help but buy it. The bad thing is that you know very well you will not play it in your life. Maybe it's a game from your childhood, or a game that could surely be a very good one. But being more than a decade old, that makes you not install it due to poor graphics. It really is not only an unnecessary expense, although the expense itself is quite little, but it is also a lie that we tell ourselves. For example, at some point, I will play this and I will love it, when clearly it would not cross our minds. It's not our fault. Every day an interesting game is announced and released, and we don't have time to look back. But please, stop buying games from 20 years ago that you will never touch in your life. Don't lie to yourself. Number 6, take literally any object that crosses our path. This perhaps applies to most video game genres, but especially this concept applies more to RPGs, since in these franchises, you can always rob villagers, enter their homes, and even take their plates and glasses, as in The Witcher 3. What is the use of stealing and taking everything within our reach? Why do we fill our inventory with items that we will never use? I really don't know, nor does it make sense. But it is something that is inevitable to do. In fact, in these video games, those objects almost have a minimum value in stores, and it even takes up weight. Without a doubt, it is a habit that does not serve us at all. Number 5, taking their games too seriously. Gamers tend to take their games way too seriously. They get so wrapped up in the game that they forget that it is just a game. This can make them angry and frustrated when things don't go their way. And when they get too competitive, they might start to trash talk other players. Come on, this habit can be a turn-off for other gamers, and it can make the gamer look foolish for others. If you want to make your career in the esports industry, you can take the game too seriously because it is the only way to make your gaming career successful. However, if you only want to play games for entertainment purposes, just take it so easy. It's meant to make you happy, not to lose control of yourself. Doing so will make you look foolish among your friends and family. Furthermore, it will have a negative effect on your real-life career and hinder your success. Number 4, never trust the autosave. It is very normal that although in modern video games a giant autosave logo appears on the screen, we give them the save option every 2 seconds. This is due to an old custom when we had to pause and save, since video games did not have this option before. But we inadvertently transferred that bad habit to our times. Even though the game itself insists that it has an autosave, we are wary and very afraid that our console conspires against us not to save that victory that we did to the ultra difficult boss. In general, it always works, and not in old games like Resident Evil or Silent Hill, where if you forgot to save the game for several hours, you literally lost your progress and you couldn't claim anything from anyone. I know, it was painful. Number 3, microtransactions. And speaking of unnecessary expenses, we have to talk about microtransactions. And since, not all, most gamers spend thousands of dollars on things that will never really help them, special costumes of a character from popular culture, special gold weapons, or a different model, a power-up to advance a plot, among many others. This would be almost like using cheats in the modern age, but paying instead of entering a secret code. Surely that special skin that costs quite expensive will serve you in your gameplay experience. If you say so. Number 2, missing out on important life events. Since gamers are always trying to get better at their game, they sometimes miss out on important life events. This includes things like birthdays, weddings, and funerals. Let's not talk about missing classes sometimes. They would rather spend their time playing their game than attending these events. This habit can lead to gamers becoming isolated from their family and friends. If you are doing the same, you are missing out on the most remarkable moments of your life because they will never come back again. We understand that every gamer has a dream of becoming a pro. However, it doesn't mean that you spend all of your time improving your gaming skills and missing your important life events. Even if you want to become a professional esports player, you still have to attain a balanced lifestyle to enjoy your game and precious moments of your life. And number 1, using only one weapon in the entire game. Modern games are incredible, both RPG and war games, where there are hundreds or thousands of weapons, swords, and other items, which even have their own individual functions. And although the game has advanced to those limits, we continue to insist on only using a single weapon in the entire game, until defeating the final boss. I know it is difficult to adapt ourselves to other weapons, or we simply find one that defeats our enemies much more easily, but we must learn to diversify and use different styles. Perhaps the experience will be more enriching. Anyway, we have reached this far with the video. I hope that now you know your bad habits and you can overcome them. Or not. And if you know more bad habits, tell me below in the comments. Samurai will leave you here, in pursuit of another beautiful topic that I will share with you in the next video. Don't miss it. If you liked the video, please give me a like button and join Samurai Clips by subscribing. See you next time!